Welcome to Law Days and Lattes, the podcast where we blend the world of law and business with a warm cup of information and common sense. I'm your host, Sidney, attorney, real estate investor, and business owner. Each week, we'll be your go-to source for legal insights, business advice, and so much more. Whether you're a seasoned professional, an ambitious entrepreneur, or simply someone seeking guidance, we'll have you covered. From navigating the legal landscape to empowering you with valuable business strategies, we'll explore the legal side of life and enjoy a virtual latte along the way. So, grab your favorite latte, get comfortable, and let's dive in to Law Days and Lattes. Welcome back to Law Days and Lattes, where we talk about building wealth, protecting what matters, and passing it on with intention. I'm your host, Sidney, founder of the Whelan Law Firm, now serving North Central Missouri businesses and families in 3 convenient locations, Moberly, Carrollton, and now in Paris. Today, I want to talk about something that's been on my heart. I recently returned from a trip to Washington, D.C. I was there for a national conference of county leaders, people from across the country who serve at the most local, practical levels of government. And when I came home, I witnessed something else. I saw a group of elected officials and some hopeful candidates stand up publicly and challenge what they believed to be an overreach by a political party's central committee. They believed certain actions and policies at the local level were infringing on voter and election laws. And whether you agreed with them or not, what struck me was this. They showed up, they spoke up, and they stood firm in their beliefs. In both places, in Washington and at home, I was reminded of something deeply important. Strong leadership at the local level is not optional. It's essential. Leadership is closest to the people. When we think about leadership, we often think about Congress, presidents, governors. But the truth is, the leadership that most directly affects your daily life happens locally. It's your county commissioners, your clerks, your judges, your school board members, and your city council. These are the people who implement election laws, who oversee budgets, manage public safety, protect roads, and who enforce the statutes that were properly enacted. Local leaders are the guardians of the process, and process is what protects our freedoms. Leadership is not about volume, it's about integrity. Strong leadership is not about who speaks the loudest. It's about who understands the law, who respects the guardrails, who recognizes that constitutional protections exist for a reason. We are a nation of laws, not impulses. If laws need to change, we change them the proper way, through legislation, through amendments, and through lawful procedures. But until then, leaders have a duty to uphold what exists now. That applies in government, and it applies everywhere else too. There is a parallel to business leadership. In my law practice, leadership means something very specific. It means clear systems and respect for legal boundaries. It means financial stewardship, accountability, and long-term thinking. You cannot build a law firm, or any other business for that matter, on chaos. You can't protect assets if you ignore the structure. And you certainly cannot pass anything on to the next generation if leadership is weak, reactionary, or careless. Strong leadership in business means knowing the governing documents, respecting compliance requirements, protecting your clients and your employees, and protecting the future. Sound familiar? It should, because the principles are the same. It also parallels family leadership. Leadership at home matters just as much. Parents lead, grandparents lead, and business owners lead. We teach our children how to handle disagreement and how to take a stand respectfully, how to follow the rules, and how to change them appropriately. and how to protect what matters. Strong family leadership builds generational stability. Weak leadership breeds confusion and insecurity. And here's the truth. Children are watching how we handle conflict. Employees are watching how we handle pressure. And the communities out there, they're watching how our leaders handle disagreements. Courage at the local level. When I watched local officials stand up recently, what struck me wasn't political theater. It was courage. Local leadership is personal. We see these people at the grocery store, at church, and at school events. It's much easier to take a position when you are far removed from your neighbors. It's much harder when you live among the people that you serve. That is real leadership. Not perfection, and not always agreement, but a willingness to stand publicly and say, I believe this is what the law requires. Or, I believe this protects our voters. Or, maybe it's, I believe this keeps our county within its lawful boundaries. That kind of leadership deserves respect, even when we disagree. And why does this matter for generations? You know my framework. Build, protect, and pass it on. Strong leadership builds stability. Strong leadership protects institutions. And strong leadership passes down trust. If local leaders ignore the statutes, institutions erode. If business leaders ignore compliance, companies fail. And if parents ignore responsibility, generational wealth and stability disappear. Strong leadership is not dramatic. It's steady, it's principled, and it's disciplined. And it's generational. So this is my call to action. If you are in local office, I urge you to serve with courage and humility. If you are running for an office, prepare yourself. Learn the statutes, understand the guardrails, and be ready to uphold them even when it's not comfortable. If you're a business owner, lead with structure, not emotion. And if you're a parent or a grandparent, model respect for the process and principled disagreement. Strong local leadership keeps communities safe. Strong business leadership keeps families prosperous. And strong family leadership builds legacies. It all connects. So in closing, my trip to Washington reminded me how complex our systems are. Coming home reminded me how vital our local leaders are. Never underestimate the power of principled leadership where you live, because what happens at the local level doesn't stay local. It shapes generations. And that, my friends, is worth showing up for. I'm Sidney Whelan, and this has been Law Days and Lattes. Until next time, build wisely, protect fiercely, and pass it on. Have a great day, my friends.
This podcast episode contains general information for discussion purposes only. Each case is different and must be judged on its own merits. Missouri rules generally prohibit lawyers from advertising that they specialize in particular areas of the law. This show should not be construed to suggest such specialization. Nothing on this show should be taken as legal advice for any individual case or situation. This information is not intended to create an attorney-client relationship, and the listening or viewing of this podcast does not constitute an attorney-client relationship. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.